6 years ago, my world came crashing down. I was 33 when my ex-husband Dan betrayed me in the worst way imaginable, with my sister Abby. To give you some context, I met Dan 15 years ago when I was celebrating my 18th birthday. He was 40 at the time, mature, charming, and everything I thought I needed. Coming from a dysfunctional family where my parents constantly fought and my father disappeared for long stretches, I craved stability. My father passed away when my sister was born, and from then on, it seemed my mother focused all her love on Abby. Although she never neglected me, there was always a void that Dan filled when he came into my life. Dan made me feel special and complete. He showered me with affection, gifts, and support, encouraging me to pursue my master's degree instead of rushing to start a family. We were married for 5 years, and I truly believed I was living a fairy tale. But one day, everything shattered. I discovered Dan had been having an affair with Abby, who had just turned 19. He had been lying to me for months, sneaking off to meet her under the guise of business trips. The betrayal cut even deeper when I found out I was pregnant, only to lose the baby due to the immense stress. Dan didn't even visit me in the hospital. He was off with Abby while I grieved alone. After confronting him, he coldly told me he no longer loved me and that I had changed. I was devastated. My family sided with Abby, my mother telling me to make peace with it. I felt completely abandoned. The emotional pain drove me to thoughts of ending my life. I had no one left, but my best friend Tina was my savior. She was moving out of state and convinced me to come with her, helping me escape the constant reminders of my ruined life. It took time, but I started to rebuild. In my new town, I met Tony, my now husband. He was patient, kind, and helped me regain the trust I had lost. We got married a year ago, and now I'm pregnant with our first child. Life had finally started to feel good again. Until yesterday. I received an email from Dan, and all the old wounds reopened. He wrote about how miserable he was with Abby. She didn't care about him like I did. She was constantly cheating on him, and my mother wasn't helping. He said he missed me and wanted to rekindle what we had, thinking I might still be waiting for him. Little did he know, I had moved on and built a new life. I wrote back, telling him that the woman who once loved him was gone, that she died the day I lost our baby while he was with my sister. I told him about my new life, my wonderful husband, and our baby on the way. I made it clear that I never wanted to hear from him again. His response was pitiful, claiming he would wait for me forever. It was unsettling, to say the least, but what truly shook me was the email I received shortly after from my mother and Abby. They were both congratulating me on my pregnancy, as if nothing had happened, as if they hadn't betrayed me so completely. It was surreal. I cried for hours, the weight of their betrayal crashing down on me once again. But this time, I wasn't alone. My husband, Tony, held me and reassured me. He even offered to consult his lawyer and make sure we were protected. I decided to block all of them, Dan, Abby, and my mother. I don't need that toxicity in my life, especially not now. I have a baby on the way, a husband who loves me, and in-laws who are truly like the family I never had. Tina and her wife Jenny have also been my rock, always there when I need them. I don't know what the future holds, but for now, I'm focusing on healing and looking forward to the next chapter of my life. I wish I could say that was the end of my struggles, but life had one more twist for me. My husband's nephew, whom I had always trusted, violated that trust in the worst way. While staying with my sister-in-law during my husband's work trip, I woke up one night to find him assaulting me. I fought back, but when my sister-in-law came downstairs, instead of supporting me, she blamed me. She said no one would believe me and that I'd ruin the family if I spoke out. I was terrified, but with the support of my husband, I managed to stand up for myself. My husband believed me without hesitation. He confronted his sister and nephew, and though it shattered our relationship with them, he remained by my side. We've decided to move back to the city, away from the toxicity, and start fresh. I know it won't be easy, but with my husband, our child, and the love of those who truly care about me, I know we'll be okay. Hear our story coming to an end today. There's one final twist, a bonus thriller that's sure to send chills down your spine. I moved into a dream home, but what I found in the walls terrified me. I moved into the house last month. It was a steal. Perfect location, cheap rent, and the landlord seemed too eager to sign the lease. I thought I got lucky. The first week was peaceful, until the third night. At around 2 a.m., I heard faint footsteps coming from upstairs. I lived alone, so I grabbed a baseball bat and cautiously made my way up, heart pounding in my chest. But when I reached the landing, the footsteps stopped. The air felt heavier, like something or someone was watching me. I checked every room, but nothing was there. The next night, I heard whispering. It sounded like it was coming from inside the walls, but the words were unclear, just a low, constant murmur. I convinced myself it was an old house, maybe settling noises. I tried to sleep, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Things escalated quickly after that. Objects moved, doors closed by themselves. Cold drafts would rush through the house, even though every window was sealed shut. Then, one night, I woke up to a sound unlike anything I had heard before. Scratching. It was coming from the ceiling, like something was crawling just above me. I ran out of my room and looked up. There were cracks forming on the ceiling, and through those cracks, I saw it. A single bloodshot eye staring down at me. I moved out the next day. But last night, at my new apartment, I heard it again. The scratching. This time, it's coming from inside my walls.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more. Things are about to get intense.